So from my personal experience and as a general rule, everybody knows that if you make any kind of negative comment on YouTube, you are sure to receive all kinds of hate for it. So because of that, I've decided I'm going to end the video right here. Thanks for viewing. All right, I'm just joking. I'm going to go through the list of the things that I least like about the DJI Spark. And yes, my title is slightly clickbaity because these things don't make me hate this wonderful drone. So the number one thing that I dislike about the DJI Spark is the battery. Specifically, I get frustrated with how long it takes to charge this battery. It's not a very big battery. So the nice thing is it comes with this three-way port to charge 3 batteries at once. I only have 2, but to show as an example, I can easily put them on here. It shows you where they're at when you're charging them. These light up and show you how far along it is. And ultimately that sounds like great in theory, but if you have 3 batteries on here charging at once, it's going to slow down the amount of time it takes to charge all 3, rendering it somewhat useless. I wish there was a way to quick charge one of the batteries at one time. I do like the fact that you can plug into the back of the Spark here when the battery is attached to charge via the USB port. I just wish that there was a way to charge faster in general. All right, number 2 on what I don't like about the DJI Spark is the overall flight time. You get about 10 minutes on one fully charged battery. 10 minutes is not a lot of time. That barely gets you up in the air to the point you want to get, and then you got to come back home and land before you run out of battery. It forces you to make some last minute decisions about how long you want to keep the drone up in the air and how long you want to be flying for before you're gambling with your ability to land it. I would have sacrificed a heavier drone and maybe even a slower drone for a longer battery life. And yes, I'm aware of the DJI Mavic and the DJI Mavic Air. Okay, for me, number 3 is going to be these non-foldable arms. So DJI has done a fantastic job at making this small. However, these arms, which are stationary, they don't come off, they don't fold, they are stuck on there as and molded in as part of the plastic. And that inability to remove or change these arms really makes this big. It makes it overall, even with these in, it makes it bigger than the Mavic, and it makes it certainly bigger than the newly released Mavic Air. And as someone who bought this largely because of the size, it's unfortunate that the arms aren't movable. All right, number 5 for me is going to be the LEDs on the front of these arms and the back of these arms, the LEDs for this drone. I believe DJI does this for all of their drones, but the red is in the front and the green is in the back. I think that the average person will get very confused by this. And the reason for that is because most people drive cars. And as everybody knows, when you see red, that means you stop, whether it's a stoplight, whether it's the brake lights, or whether it's just tail lights that are moving slowly in front of you. Red means stop. So red, generally to me, when I see red, that means that thing is going away from me. That thing is going in the opposite direction of me, is traveling forward. So when I see the red in the front and I have my joystick moved forward, it took me a minute to understand that minute was coming towards me. It makes it hard for visual references. However, on that front, coupled with that, if you get into a low battery state, which as I already talked about is a common problem with the short flight time, all of them blink red. So now you're in a situation where you don't even have orientation on the drone because all are blinking red anyways to indicate that the low battery. So really the LEDs on this drone are just not well thought out from a user experience. And the final thing that I do not like about the DJI Spark is the pretty much pointless controllerless flight. Now, if you're using the hand gestures, you can get away with controllerless flight, and I do actually really like that feature. I've featured it in my other video, 5 Things I Love About the Spark. But using your phone as the controller is not a good option for this drone. In fact, I don't know if there's a drone that it is a good option for. I appreciate what they tried to do with that, and I appreciate them making this as mobile as possible when you get rid of something like the controller, but functionality wise, it's really not, it's just not reliable. So I don't even use that as a feature. And that rounds out the 5 things that I don't like about the DJI Spark. That is, of course, after 6 months of use. These things are subject to change as DJI continues to update and make this drone smarter and better. I'm really hoping these LEDs get changed, as that seems like a simple one. Anyways, if you like the video, please hit that like button, and as always, subscribe. I'll leave you here with some great footage I got from the Spark.